Hello and welcome everyone. This is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is Monday, July the 31st, 2023, and this is my Flosstube episode number 89. I would like to say hello and welcome to my new subscribers. I have had a slight increase in subscriptions, and I thank you so very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and check out to see if I can enable you with a project or two. And to my returning friends and subscribers, thank you so very much for coming back each and every time that I upload a video. I would also like to thank you all for your wonderful, kind comments on my 2-hour movie marathon from my last video. It was funny because I really didn't expect for people to watch the whole 2 hours, but some of you actually did, which is awesome. I think my chair is too low or something. There we go. I have a hydraulic chair, and for some reason, during the day, it just slowly creeps down. So, you know. But it was very encouraging that you all watched that video, and some of you actually mentioned that you felt like you were on the retreat with me. It was an exciting time, and I am glad and thankful for the experience. Those retreat with travel though like that is a little exhausting, so I am finally trying to catch up. I am caught up. I just need to get out and get some sunshine now. But thank you all so very much for your wonderful comments on that video. It was, just think, if it takes 2 hours to record a video, how much time it takes to edit that video. It was a long, enduring process, and I am so appreciative that all of you enjoyed it. Well, we're going to get right into it. I am pretty sure that this will not be a 2-hour video, so I have some new starts for you. I have some whips, I have a finish, and then I will have my July stats and some investments and some plans. So I hope that you will stay tuned. I will be consuming some water again this week. I actually had intended on filming this video yesterday, but my blood pressure was really bad. I had swelling and all of that, and so I just decided that it would be better for me to hold off. I had a headache that just wouldn't quit, so I know when my blood pressure is high, you know, that I need to rest and try to get it back down. So I am feeling better today, so that is why I am coming to you on a Monday instead of a Sunday, instead of a Saturday. I have some, I guess I'm going to talk about life updates just a little bit. Some very dear friends of mine are moving across country. They live just down the street from me, and so they had a son. They have a son, and he will turn 1 after they move. They're actually moving this coming Saturday. And so they threw him a 1-year-old birthday party, and man, talk about shock. Like, I haven't been around babies in a long, long time, and so to have like 5 or 6 little babies running around and all the screaming and the crying, it was a great time though. I will cherish it because they are really dear friends of mine. And then now they're packing to move to Idaho, so I won't get to enjoy their little baby, their little boy, and watch him grow up like we had planned. We had planned that they would live here until he got married and, you know, went on his way, but things change and the show must go on. So that's why I didn't get to record on Saturday, because I was really enjoying my life. Things that I used to do, like go to kids' birthday parties. But at this age, I know now why young people have babies, because whew, it was a lot. Okay, so let's just get started with the new starts. I have actually a total of 3 new starts. And so let me get those out for you. The first 2 will come as no surprise. It is Life is Just a Bowl of Cross Stitch for August. And this is the pin roll or the needle roll, and this is the pin pillow, or they call it the stamp actually in the chart. It's being stitched, both are being stitched on a 16 count Witchelt Ada, and I think it's lamb's wool. They never tell you what the fabric is that they send you, but here is where I am now. I have completed the entire B-skep with the exception of there's flowers that go over here, but the entire B-skep and the pedestal that it sits on is completed. And this is 342 stitches. So that is the stamp. And I will be working on this. Usually I try to have them done the month ahead. July was just super busy with me going out of town. And then this past Thursday, I went to stitch with the antique needleworkers down at the mill. Sorry, that's not perspiration. And so that was another day that I was traveling, and so it's just this July has been full of travel, full of go. The next project that I started was the pin or the needle roll, and here is where that is at. They sew the fabric on when they send the project, and so it comes like this. And I have put in the bee, including her wings, and the crown. Let's see how close I can get that before the light starts. So you can see those extra light blue stitches. Those are part of her wings also. Again, these are being stitched on 16 count Ada, Witchelt Ada, and I believe the color is lamb's wool, and I am using the called for DMC flosses, and this is what the bowl will look like once I finish them. And those little bees did come, I have to work on those, but they get sent the felt for the wings, they've sent the felt balls. There's some stitches that have to be put on, and the eyes. So that'll be a fun little extra project to get done on this. So that was start number 1 and number 2. And then I'm getting a pen. And then I started in this beautiful butterfly bag by Garon Stitchery, toting bag. I picked it up at the retreat. I forgot to take this out. I started in one of these pages is the cover sheet. There we go. Like it won't come apart. I started butterfly cloche. However, my butterfly cloche is going to have a little twist to it. I will be stitching each butterfly individually and actually putting it under a cloche. I have the finish already worked out in my head. So you'll be seeing the butterflies stitched individually and even on different counts of fabric. So that is what you'll be seeing as I progress through this. So I started with this top butterfly here. And sorry, it's all, well, it's all wrinkly. I should have knew it would be wrinkly. I didn't leave it in anything. And here is what it looks like. I am stitching this on a 28 count Cloud by Atomic Ranch. It's Clouds by Atomic Ranch, and it actually goes this way. So each butterfly will be individual as I go along. I put a lot of stitches. This is the complete butterfly. Now all I have to do is do the fill in for the wings, and I put in 437 stitches on that. And so that is what it looks like. It's going to be very interesting to me to do it this way. I've told a couple of people about what I was doing, and they were like, "You're going to do what?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to see how it works out." So, in my head, it's just going to be like when you see the butterflies, you know, they do the little sampling, or what is it, where they pin them up. But I'm not going to do it that, you know, I'm not going to pin them up or anything. I'm actually going to get a real cloche and put them in, and then they can be a nice summer, late spring, early summer display. So that is what my plan is. I started this on the 24th of July. Oh, okay, good. I was looking at my card because I'm going to try to keep track of the fabrics as I go along, so I'll be able to tell you. And I did pull all of the DMCs used for the different butterflies. And so that is what the palette is. I'm going to go with the same colors, but I'm going to choose different fabrics as I go along and different fabric counts. So that is Butterfly Cloche, and that is by Hello from Liz Mathews. Let me know what you think about my little idea. I was pretty excited about it. It'll be a new and inventive way of finishing, that's for sure. But I already have it in my head. So, you know, getting the idea is half the battle. So those were my 2 new starts for this week. And now we can go into my whips. So the first whip up this week is Temperature Butterfly by Stitching Mommy. And here's a picture of where it was when you last saw it. And here is a picture of where it is now. So let me tell you about my little Temperature Butterflies. If you recall, I had the outline of this one completed. I had the outline of the second one completed. And I even had the body of the third one completed. This is July, August, and September. And I was going to put in all of the veining for the butterflies, and then I was, you know, do that through July and half of August, and hopefully by the middle part of August I'll be ready to do the fill-in stitching for all 3. Well, I get to looking at the 3rd butterfly as I put it in, and I'm like, something's not right. And I looked at the chart again, and as it turned out, it was the bottom of the page. So I had to remove all the 259 stitches that I had put in, which was this butterfly outline and the 3rd one. I had stitched November and December in those 2 places, because I literally took 20 minutes putting this whole, like, it's a great big old piece of paper now. Like, I took all the blue lines out and I put them all together. I have a big, huge, it's like a poster, because I was really, like, I couldn't figure out why, and it looks like nothing changed with this butterfly, but the middle of the butterfly is different because it has 31 days, and it needed 31 days. When I stitched it, it would have only had 30 days. So, you know, when I first discovered it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to set me back, because this project is on my year of WIPs. I want it finished in 2023, because it should have been finished in 2022. But I digressed. I'm going to work on it again. You'll hear in plans, but I got it all completed and ended up putting back in 364 stitches to get back on track. So I've outlined, or I veined this part of the butterfly, and I finished off my thread and put in these 2 veins on this butterfly. So now I have all of the veining to do, plus the fill-in, and I need to get it done because I want to move down. I want to have enough time to where I'm not like December the 31st trying to finish this. So that's temperature butterfly. I actually put in, I should have added this at 259 plus 364 equals, I actually put in a total of 623 stitches in this project. They should all be done for that number. But there we go. I'm stitching this on a 28 count Bestitch Me, and with the name, and the name is Artemis. I'm using $37.99 for the butterfly outline and veining, and a sulky conversion of my own for the coloring in of the temperatures and dates. I do still love it. I do. But that's where we are on temperature butterfly. I was so, like, I just shook my head. And that would normally have been something that I would have been like, oh, you're going to timeout. But I don't have timeout time. Like, I don't have time to take a timeout. I got to keep moving forward. So, it is on my year of WIPs. It was also for the magazine monthly challenge this month. I used it for safari because butterflies fly in this. You see butterflies in the safari. And so my goal for that WIP was 400 stitches. So I was almost there. You know, I only needed 141 when I found out my mistake. But at least, you know, I keep saying, I always try to look for the positive in a situation. And the positive is at least I hadn't finished the veining, done the veining for all 3 of those butterflies, and then had to take it out. So I'm grateful for that. So that was temperature butterflies. The next WIP that I have was actually a new start. It's in my bee bag. And it was Queen Bee by Tiny Modernist. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here's where it is now. So I am stitching this on 28 count clouds by Atomic Ranch Fabrics. I'm stitching it 1 over 1. So I finished the moon. I put in the rays. I have started, this is one flower that is in her hair. This is the second flower, and this is the third. So I've worked in her hair and 3 of the flowers that are in her hair. She has 3 flowers. And then it will start the crown. This project will be like my Saturday morning, Saturday early morning or project. I can't talk on the phone. It really, 1 over 1 for me requires a lot of concentration. I don't know why. I'm using 1 thread. It's an all silk conversion done by Miss Susan. But it's I love it. I'm gonna have to I've been using my 2 times magnifier, but I think I'm gonna have to pull out the 5-time magnifier, especially with doing like the end, like it's got some that goes with it, because you can't see the little green leaves up there. Oh yes you can, yes you can. These needle minders, this one I purchased at Color and Cotton, and this was a gift, I believe, at my very first StitchCon, if I'm remembering that correctly. But there she goes. She'll get put away for a little while. I have some other plans, and so I'm not going to be working on her, but I have put in a total this past time. I put in this past week, I put in 169 stitches on her. And for the month, I have put in, now where is she? Oh, 169. Sorry, I should have did this before. 54 plus 61 equals. I put in 284 stitches, so I have done my own personal start requirement. So that's a good feeling to know that I've done that. So, but she will go away for a little while. But I can also add her into, I'm going to, on my WIP list, add her into my Representation Matters, since she is an African-American queen bee. And so that will be a good project to pull out when I have a Representation Matters call, or I want to work on one. I have several in that category now, so that is fun. And my next WIP, the final WIP for this week, is in my Lynn X Stitch Creates. Now I call these lightning bugs. I know they've been called fireflies also, in my lightning bug firefly bag, and it is Summer Quakers by Rosewood Manor. And I am in this area over here. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here's where it is now. So I came down and I was looking for a place to start, because these motifs are spread out a little bit more. So I put in these 3 little, they look like rosebuds to me actually. So I put those in, and then I was able to count down, and put in the starting point. So this is where I am. I came down and put over there. I still have 3 little motifs, those 3 little motifs to put in, that one, but it was more important for me to count down so that I could get my placement right with this. As of right now, you know, I'm not going to be putting in the date and my initials right there. I just want to get this motif done. This is my Sunday stitch for the for the summer season. So I'll be working on it every Sunday during the summer season. Pardon me. And I work on it, like I said, on Sundays. I am stitching this on a, it is a 28 count Palomino by Rogue Stitching, which is also Atomic Ranch, I believe. And I'm using the called for Valdani flosses. Pretty soon I'm going to have to make a Q-snap decision whether I'm going to put it on or morph one into a larger size, or if I am going to put it on a scroll frame, because this is an 8-inch Q-snap and it, you know, like, but I'm loving it in the Q-snap, but it's not big enough. So I'm going to have to make a decision on what I'm going to do. I have just a little bit more that I can put in. And so that'll be my plan for this Sunday, to keep working down this motif. I can come back to these 2 smaller motifs. It's not a problem, because I have all these leaves to put in over here. This is a pretty big motif. That's the one I'm working on right there. So I put in 144 stitches yesterday, 140 stitches on this yesterday. Again, I wasn't feeling very well, so it was great that I got in that many stitches. And those are my whips for this week. Now, as you know, I'm in a group, and it's a closed group. It's called, the name of the group is Whip Warriors. The side name for, they have different levels and different things that they do within the Whip Warriors. I'm on the road trip. And one, oh no, I already did that. Okay. I haven't really been participating very much this month. I have to get myself back in the groove. With the traveling and the trying to finish this and do that and all of that. But I, when I did my winter Christmas parade, I wrote down some names of charts that were close to a finish, in the hopes that I could work on those and get them to a finish, figuring that they probably had less than 200 stitches in them. Well, I did that because for categories the letter was R, and so R stands for reindeer. So I pulled out, now what did I just do with it? Okay, well, I lost the chart. Oh, here it is. So I pulled out Holly Berry by Erica Michaels. And you see that little reindeer right there? Used him for categories. And I got a finish. And so I put in, I didn't even write down how many stitches I put in this. 171 stitches, and it finished it. So I put in this Holly motif, these holly motifs, this all over the bear, and the red stitches that go with it. Oh, and I did these they're called road stitches, and I filled in one of the holly leaves completely. This that you see here is a friction pin, so it'll come out. I pray it comes out. But that is my finish on Holly Berry. So I have, so I'll be working in some of those smaller projects so that I can get some finishing done. That will be a good one. I've never finished a berry before, but I would like to try. It looks as though the instructions look very easy, so it shouldn't be a big problem. And I'm sure there's other, like Helen D did a berry tutorial because she did that whole berry series. So I'm sure I'll be able to find a good resource for when I want to get to finish that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my July stats. I had a very busy month. There's my month of July. There was only one day that I can recall. Actually, there was more than one, because I didn't stitch on. Oh, I did stitch. So in my head, I kept thinking I didn't stitch the morning on which we came back, which was Monday the 17th, but I stitched in the morning at the hotel before we left, so I did stitch that day. Okay, so for my July stats, and it just worked out this way that today is the end of the month and I'm filming so I can give it to you and move on to August. I stitched a total number of stitches. I stitched a total number of 5,959 stitches. What are the odds? 59, 59. I worked on 20 projects. I had a total of 5 finishes. I had 4 new starts, and my daily average stitch count is 199. For the mid-year, just with the total stitches, I have stitched from January 1st through July 31st, because I'm not going to stitch anymore tonight. I'm going to edit my video. I have stitched a total of 43,640 stitches, which is mind-blowing to me. I can't imagine, like, if I had been keeping track of my stitches all since 2019 when I started stitching, like, that is mind-blowing to me. I know it's, you know, may not be high in some people's books, but in my book, that's a whole lot of stitches. So I was super excited when I came up on that number. So those were my stats. Even with the travel, you know, I drove 2 hours on Thursday to go stitch, and then drove 2 hours back home again, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it was in the country. It was a lot. Oh, 59. It seems down a little bit, but when I was going through averaging the yearly total, the midway total, I'm still within the range of where I was when I started. Actually, I'm a little above. The stitches I had in January were 58.35, and in July 59.59. So I'm still staying. There were a few months in there where it was really high, but I am staying right. I haven't decreased as much as I have increased. Let me say it that way. Okay, so now investments. So all those plans. My investments is trying to fall down. So I received, this is actually Stitchy Kindness. And I received a notebook. I am part of a group and it is called Black Creative Cross Stitchers. And so I received a notebook, a needle minder, a needle minder, and a lapel pin, and a wonderful note from our, I don't know what to call her, Miss Deb. Thank you so very much, Miss Deb. I'm not sure if she watches me or not, but thank you so very much. I appreciate the gifts. And I look forward to seeing you again. We stitch on Zoom, which has become a big thing. Lots of stitching over the Zoom. I love it. I don't participate in it enough. I actually have 2 groups that I can stitch with on Zoom. And I only do it sporadically. So anyway, so my first investment is my fabric of the month from Rogue Stitching, and it is Atomic Ranch Prairie Land. I get a 36 count linen, and that is what it looks like. It has a little bit more of an orange well, you almost saw it there. An orange undertone than what you're seeing. And it also has a little bit of green in it. So that is Prairie Land. I will also try to remember when they open up their Fabric of the Month Club. I think they open it up in December. Yeah, see, you didn't even see. See, that doesn't even show, but like that's a big thing of orange right there. So if someone is interested in getting into the Fabric of the Month Club, they can. I also received, and I didn't take them out, my Floss Frenzy for this month. And there are the colors that I received. I also received my Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month. And if you haven't received yours yet, because you would like to look away right now, I get a 32 count Lugana. And that color is not right. That's not right either. But here's the name. Here's the color name of it. I just received this on Saturday, so I'm not for sure, like, if other people have received theirs yet. But it does look exactly what the name say. It looked like that. I've seen that before in real life. So that was my Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month Club. And then my friend, Stitch and Button Vicky, she has a Facebook group where she sells her merchandise at. This is a bag, and somebody tagged me and said, this is what it looks like when doves cry. This is what it sounds like when doves cry. And I immediately was like, me please. And she put in here, which I am super excited. So I don't know if you've all heard about this, but there are these, they're called needle pullers. Oh my goodness. So you see how long these things have gotten? It's kind of hard to pull a needle when your nails are this long. And I know you say, well, just trim your nails. But no, that is not the answer. The answer is a needle puller. So what you do is you slide your needle into the hole, and then you pull it, and you can it grips onto it, and you can pull it right through. And I love it. And she must have made this one specially for me. It's got a butterfly and purple beads. This is the bee's knees right here. I'm gonna tell you, I use this. The first time I used one was when I was at Silver Needle, because I was having a hard time pulling the needle through the finishing thing that I was working on. And thank you, Vicky, so very much. I can't wait. Like, it has been sitting in the bag, like, try me, use me. But I'm pulling it out the bag now that I've shown it, and I'll be using it. She also sells scissor fobs that she hand makes, everything. Great quality of bags. And then she also, so she put in 2 little stickers, one thing at a time, which I need to remember that. And then she put in this is a little piece, I don't know what this is. Walk towards the sunshine and the shadows will fall behind you. And then she put in a 2023 charm for me also. So thank you so very much, my friend. I really appreciate it. It's going to be great. Let me show you that. So, you know, it has these flowers on the back. So she put a leaf for the zipper pull. She does wonderful work. Her the name of the Facebook group is Stitchin Button. Stitch, the letter N, button. And you can find, that's where she sells all of her products at. So that is my project bag. And then I have another wonderful friend who is also one half of the Antique Needleworkers, Liz. And I have been talking to her about the chart, Courage, that was a start along for Pam Schaffner's 30th year of being cancer, or diagnosis of cancer. And I said, I thought I had saw where there was like a kindness chart, and sure enough there was. And so my friend Liz gave it to me, or she's letting me borrow it, or I don't know. I think she gave it to me because she was like, I'm not going to stitch this. But the word kindness is in right here. And then these are all different letter motifs. I want to start this. I don't know when I'm going to start it though, because I have so many other irons in the fire and more irons to be placed in the fire. So, but it's good to have it, so when I get ready, I'll have it. So thank you, Liz, so much for that. So now that I have gone through my investments, I can go into my plans. So WIPGO numbers were called for August, and the numbers were 18 and 24. And my 18 is Miss Shelia's choice. So for the second month in a row, Miss Shelia has chosen my WIPGO project for the month. And that project is Rosina Dizery 1820. And so I will show you what that looks like. Ooh. And this is the chart. It is a reproduction sampler by Works by ABC, from Works by ABC. And if you recall, I only have the very first one of these. The basis of this chart is 1/1. This very top is 1/1. All of the words are 1/1. And you don't get to 2/2 until you do the side motifs. So I will be doing 700 stitches of 1/1. Lord help me. Thank you, Miss Shelia. But you know, in everything there, it is a process, and so I will be charging along and moving forward so that I can meet my WIPGO goals. Oh, speaking of that, okay, I'm going to digress for 1 second. So that was number 18, Rosina Dizery. But let me show you my WIPGO board, because I updated it when I was making, before I started the video. And here is my WIPGO board. So I have my first WIP bingo, and I have several others that, you know, I'm like 1. So if she calls number 1, I'll have another one. You know, there's several. This March down here, we're going to deal with. So I'm all caught up with the exception of March. And so that's my WIPGO board. Back to the plans. The other number 24 on my board is Representation Matters, and so for that chart, I pulled out Harriet Tubman, and if you recall, I am still in the oval. I might just be in the oval for a while. That's a whole bunch. It's actually full coverage, the whole entire thing. So that is what you can be looking forward to for the month of August. Dang it. The chart stuck to the vinyl. Got to be careful with your vinyl bags. So those are my WIPGO plans for the month of August. And then on tomorrow, I will be starting with Tiny House Stitches, Autumn Cloche. And I'm actually going to do this in I'm actually going to stitch the cloche this time. And I have chosen the fabric that I received at Silver Needle as, I keep looking at it, like, it's a 40 count, so I know it's going to be over 2. It is the right size. And so, I mean, I have the right size across. And then I'll actually have some left over because it's not as long as this is. But I measured it and it came out to where I can use this like this. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is a 40 count slate. And I don't know who makes slate. They didn't say who makes slate on the little tag that I'm thankful that was on the fabric. Because they don't tag their fabric like other shops do. So I'll be starting that tomorrow with Tiny House Stitcher. And I will put the hashtag in the description box below. If you have Autumn Cloche, or I don't know when it came out. Oh, 2022. So if you have Autumn Cloche and would like to pick it up, we will be working on it. I will be working on getting 200 stitches in, and then I can come back to it in September, October. So that is my new start for tomorrow. And then in the Magazine Monthly Challenge group, this month is Robin's birthday month. Happy birthday early, Robin. And the theme is forest, as in trees. And the acrostic is roots, R-O-O-T-S. And so I have chosen for forest, seasonal sun sign, because the sun shines in the forest. I have, for the R, I'm using Representation Matters, and I have put in the Women of Honor sampler, and I need to get 300 stitches in that to complete my WIPGO challenge for the month of March. I have added Snowman Trio, because their heads are like O's. I know. Thankfully enough, they give us a lot of grace in the group. And so, this is that. And I still need to put in their 3 heads. And this is going to be more than 200 stitches, I'm sure. But I put it in for Magazine Monthly so that I can get a finish on it. And then the other ornament I did not pull, but it is, the other O is ornament. Is O for ornament. O. And I'm going to pull out Joy to the World, which is a Primrose Cottage Stitches stamp. For the letter T, I will be putting in, I'll be using Temperature Butterfly by Stitching Mommy. And for the letter S, I'm using Sandra Workman. My mom's name is Sandra, so every time I see that, I just immediately go to my mom's name. Sandra Workman, and that is my August stamp and needle roll. And I am looking to finish that also. So those are my plans. Look, for the first time in I don't know how long, my little basket is cleared out. I keep my projects in a basket right here underneath my table. And then as I work on them, you know, I write down what I've worked on for that day. And then I can just put it right back in the basket. Because I'm finding a trend. It's going to change, I'm sure, as I keep going through the road trip. Because now they're starting to call specific prompts or specific things to use as to stitch on. So when I work on it, I can just put it back in the basket, and I, you know, don't have to worry about, oh, where did I put that at? So when I film my Flosstube, they're all in the basket. I take them out, set them on the table. This month, though, I am going to have to change out. So I change out also what I keep in the basket and all of that. So, but now that we're changing over to a different month and I have different projects pulled, and now the basket will get changed over again too. I hope you all are doing very well. The temperatures have dropped here in Columbus significantly. It's like in the mid 80s. It's so wonderful. I still have my fan going, don't get me wrong, but it is wonderful now. So I hope you all are getting some cooler temperatures also. I hope that you can get outside and get some vitamin D, some natural vitamin D. I'm going to be on I'm going to be getting out and doing that more. I find myself sitting in here on really nice days. And not that I'm not busy. I mean, I'm cross-stitching, so I'm happy. But I got to get outside more because I think that will help with my energy level. But now, it just went right out of my mind what I was going to say. I hope you all are doing well and enjoying these last days. I just talked to one of my friends, and she starts back to, she's a teacher, she starts back to school tomorrow, which is so sad. I'm like, man, that was a short break. But enjoy whatever time you have, and make time to enjoy the things that you do love doing. I have not been out in my garden all season, and that was something that I truly, that was like my first therapy, was working in the yard. And I know I need to get back out there. Not only do I need to get back out there for me, but my poor little garden flower beds look like heck. So I'll be working on doing that now that the temperatures have come down. It's hard to work in the 90-degree days, but I want you all to take care of yourselves. Drink plenty of water. And I'll see you again next time. I am planning on coming back on Saturday, so we'll see what that entails. I don't have any parties. I don't have any traveling. I'll just be at home for a little while, so that'll be nice. And I'll be stitching, of course. I'll talk to you all soon. Good night.